What's going on, everybody? So today I'm going to talk about an insane trick to basically one-shot your way through the open beta. Now, I will say this only applies to people that already have a character that has access to the legendary extraction and aspect system. If you are a brand new player to the open beta, you must first level up a character to unlock this, and then you can use this for any future character that you might want to use. This will extremely speed up any sort of secondary character basically that you're going to be running, which is really cool. So what we're going to be doing here is we're actually going to be using the aspect system to basically rewrite the level requirement of a certain item. So if you could see here, we're going to go into the extract aspect, and I'll shrink myself down here so you guys can see, and we're going to pick an item, a legendary item, that is going to be a low level. Keep in mind that aspects are weapon or type bound, which means you can see here the allowed weapon types that this aspect can go on are one-handed weapons, two-handed weapons, gloves, and amulets, and rings. So make sure that the aspect that you're basically extracting can be used on a specific weapon. Oftentimes you'll need to use a weapon for other weapons. So right here I have a level 5 weapon, and you'll see here the aspect that I'm extracting has the legendary power, but that's not necessarily super important. All we care about is the level requirement. So make sure to choose a low level one. Requiring level 5 is about the lowest you can go, and it's going to be immediately after you leave that initial story instance, then you unlock your stash. So this is the perfect level to get it immediately after you create basically a new character. So we're gonna go ahead and extract that aspect, and it'll go into my inventory. Now I have 2 of these just to show you all. But what we're going to do then is to find a weapon. Now I actually have 2 higher level weapons than I can even use in the beta. These are level 26 and level 27. To show you all how this works is you're going to put this item in. It could be any item. It could be as long as the item fits for your class and the item is working with that aspect. Then you're going to apply that level 5 aspect and check it out. The item preview right here. Now this new item requires level 5 and yet still has the exact same stats. The only thing that's different is that your actual legendary aspect is overwritten. So if we imprint the aspect, boom, then we can go to check our inventory, and look at that. We can actually equip this item, unlike we were able to do before. And the same thing applies for this dagger here. If I were to go ahead and just apply the dagger, use the aspect here, and then go ahead and imprint this aspect, boom, we now have 2 legendary daggers that we could use if we wanted to, although we can't use it on the sorcerer. However, we could also use it on another character, and I'll show you guys that in just a moment. Now, important to note that you cannot do this with a weapon that does not work for your class. For example here, if I wanted to imprint this crossbow for the rogue, I could not do that because I do not have that specific class leveled up on this character, right? Because it's a sorcerer, right? So you have to pick a class that is the exact same, or pick a class that has overlapping weapons with another class. So if I were to go ahead and use daggers like the sorcerer can, I can go ahead and put these in my bank, and because the rogue can use daggers, the rogue can actually go ahead and take advantage of this. So I'm gonna go ahead and swap to my rogue, who is, I have a level 6 rogue right now. I can go ahead and use these weapons on the rogue immediately to get massive damage increases. So I'll be right back. So as you can see, we are on the level 6 rogue. We do not have particularly great weapons. You can see the damage DPS on these weapons are like 20, 24, whatever. But we can now go ahead and see these daggers, and guess what? Look at that DPS increase, plus 259, and we can apply that to both slots, and now we have max level weapons essentially. In fact, it's even higher than max level in the beta. So if you have, let's say you're farming the level 35 mob, and if you haven't seen that in a previous video, I would definitely go check that out, because wow, we could farm that legendary 35 mob. But we basically can farm higher level weapons that we can even unlock, and then overwrite them with the higher level stats. Now keep in mind, you're going to want to use skills that can actually use these weapons. So for example, for me, I would have to go ahead and remove all these skills and then run potentially the melee skills here, and then run, let's say, twisting blades. Boom, now I have that unlocked, and guess what? Now my DPS is far higher. If we were to go out to the open world, whoops, we're getting lost here, we could actually basically one-shot everything. So I don't know if this is going to be basically allowed for the main game. Honestly, if you compare it to Diablo 3, it kind of reminds me of like you know, the gem of ease and such. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is something that happens. Look at that, we swapped weapons and now we have 596 attack power, which is even more so than my sorcerer has, because my sorcerer isn't using a level 26 weapon, which is absolutely absurd. These are level 26 and 27 weapons respectively, and look at this. I can run through here and I literally just one-shot everything. All the monsters here, all the basic monsters are just getting absolutely annihilated here. Easy peasy, don't need to do anything. Wow, look at that, everything is just one shot. And this is basically just gonna help you go through the game on your secondary characters extremely easy. So my advice here, go ahead and prioritize that one character, get them leveled up, go ahead and get some gear pieces, and then use those legendary aspects on your other characters, and you'll have a really easy time. This is really nice for those of you that have less time for the beta, and you can basically go ahead and level up a character to level 25 extremely quickly, so you can test them out and have some fun. Again, the beta is all about fun, so if this was the live game and I maybe thought this was unfair, I probably wouldn't have shared it, because I don't want to exploit something. But in terms of the beta, who cares, right? Because we're just trying to test out all the classes, and so something like this definitely want to use. Look at this though, we have a level 35 enemy, or we should have a level elite enemy coming up. Not level 35 enemy, I'm not even in the right area for that. Come on, let me see if I can spawn an elite here just to show you all how powerful this truly is, because it is absolutely insane. Come on, spawn an elite for me, guys, come on. I guess we're not gonna get an elite, are we? Well, I think you guys understand the point. The damage on this is just so insane. I can literally walk around in basic. If I were to use, a standard bow or whatever, I would be struggling like crazy right now, and I just go through and one-shot everything. So hopefully you guys can use this to your advantage, especially if you are someone that has blasted the earlier beta like myself. Then you can go ahead and use this to level up, your necro or your druid. If you have some overlapping weapons, definitely be able to use those and just absolutely crush it. So thanks for watching, everyone. Hopefully you enjoyed, and hopefully you've been having fun with the closed beta. I know that the beta has ended, but hopefully you did have some fun, and hopefully you're going to enjoy the open beta coming out in the next few days. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all for the next one.